Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about ChatGPT. Please remember to like and subscribe. Now let's get right into it. Fact 1. Trained on Azure. ChatGPT, at its core, is a large language model. It's a type of machine learning model that requires hundreds and thousands of training hours in order to finish training the model in order to make its predictions. The ChatGPT machine learning model is no different that it requires a large data set, potentially millions and millions of inputs, using massive amounts of computing resources to train the model. It is likely that ChatGPT utilized a lot of GPUs on Azure in order to train the model efficiently at a reasonable rate. If you use two small powered machines, it would take a long time to finish training the model. And as you may know, speed to market is everything in technology. And so ChatGPT, OpenAI leveraged the Azure computing resources to train their models. Let's get into the next fact. Fact 2. Wrong answers. A potential limitation that people are not really talking about is the wrong answers that ChatGPT gives out. Most of the times, people are asking ChatGPT questions that will yield the right answer. For example, if you ask open-ended questions or questions where the answer is a definitive response from a simple search on the web, ChatGPT will do very well. On the other hand, if you give ChatGPT a false prompt, meaning that you start with an assumption that a false fact is correct, ChatGPT may continue answering your question in your incorrect assumption and give you nonsensical or ridiculous answers. Now, this is slowly being phased away by people continuously using ChatGPT, providing feedback, and because the model is a reinforcement learning loop, it takes into that feedback and understands that it was answering questions in the wrong way. And so more and more you'll see that ChatGPT will eventually say that the question was wrong and try to give a right answer. Now let's get into the next fact. Fact 3. Reinforcement learning human feedback. The primary method for ChatGPT large language model is reinforcement learning from human feedback. What this means is that initially, to build the model, a training set data needed to be created and used. The creators at ChatGPT used humans to answer and ask questions at the same time. So for example, the trainers for ChatGPT will first pose a question to the model, as well as answer it in the way that the trainer believes the answer should be responded from the model. The ChatGPT language model then takes into this and use it as a reference to generate its own responses. And then each response is then scored, and if it's a really bad response, the feedback is provided to the model so that it can improve in the next iteration. It's a very human-intensive effort to create this model. Let's get to the next fact. Fact 4. Guess what's intended. As I mentioned earlier, ChatGPT was trained on human inputs and responses. Unfortunately, the trainers for the model were not able to answer all questions in the world, in the known universe, and also cannot ask all questions known in the universe. And so, a lot of times, a default when ChatGPT model has not encountered this question, a default response would be a guess. When you're talking to another human and you ask them a question, if they don't understand it, they would immediately follow up with clarifying questions or ask you to repeat the question. With ChatGPT, this is not the case. What the model will do is attempt to reference any similar topics or content that you've asked and just simply guess what you're meaning or what you're asking about. And as a result, sometimes the model does return nonsensical answers because it's really taking things out of context by perhaps keyword matching or pattern matching on your prompt and gets it completely wrong. As more and more feedback loop is used and train the model, this problem should go away. Let's get into the last fact, feedback contest. Did you know that the OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, have a feedback contest? As we talked about in the previous section, the ChatGPT language model heavily relies on reinforcement learning through human feedback. It needs human feedback to tell it's doing responses well or not to continuously improve. And so, feedback and customer response evaluation is crucial to ChatGPT. The more people tell the ChatGPT model, hey, that response was not good, or that response should be answered in this manner, the more ChatGPT can learn how to appropriately respond, especially the wrong answers or ambiguous answers. This is how the model learns and requires people to provide continuous feedback so that it can improve. And so the creators, OpenAI, have a feedback contest for ChatGPT at the time of this video. And you can win credits for ChatGPT by providing your feedback. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please remember to like and subscribe. See you next time.